Facebook is one of the largest social networks in the world, with over 1 billion users, or 1/8 of the entire world's population, and over 890 million daily users, which, according to Zephyr.com, represents an 18% increase in users year over year, means that Facebook is here and here to stay. Which begs the question, how often do you use Facebook?
Once a week.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Probably every day, yeah.
So here's what happened. 27-year-old nurse Eleanor Biadu married Victor Sana Blood Dracu. Unfortunately, the marriage didn't go quite as she hoped and she wanted to divorce him. However, Victor had no official way of being contacted, no home or work address. So a New York judge allowed her to serve divorce papers through Facebook. So the question is, would you use social media to contact a loved one and serve them legal documentation?
You shouldn't be able to divorce somebody through social media or even online.
I don't think that should be gone through social media at all.
It's a legal document and that should be signed personally.
No, I feel like it's not safe.
We're here at Suffolk County Community College to meet with business law professor Dr. Scott Giacconi for further insight.
Main purpose in New York of service of process is to provide notice, as I said. The main ways to do it: personal in-hand service. The second method is what they call substituted service, when you would find a family member of suitable age and discretion who could give that person the summons or the notice that they're being served with. The third way is to nail, mail, and file, which you would nail the summons to the door and follow it up with a certified mail. And the fourth way is publication, which requires a court order after due and diligent efforts to find this person fail. It looks like they've tried all of those things and they couldn't even get an order of publication because he was nowhere to be found.
In this modern age, when everyone has a cell phone and everyone is connected to the internet, services like the US Post Office may seem a bit antiquated. This is because, for all intents and purposes, the internet is our new post office. We can use the internet to pay bills, send messages, we can even send postcards online. So, it would only seem logical that we could also use the internet to send legal documents. And, since Facebook is an online service, it would only make sense that we can use Facebook to send legal documents. However, Facebook, unlike the US Post Office, does not require any form of legal ID. Meaning, how do you know that the person sending you something is really who you think it is?
You really wouldn't know if the source was a legitimate one to receive the documents from.
It draws questions to if it's actually credible, who did it come from, who sent it. You can't tell who's behind it.
You wouldn't send an email to a colleague through Facebook. You'd send them through an email at your own email.
And social media is intended to be completely public, and those are private documents.
This man's one mistake was that he went under the radar, but he maintained a presence on Facebook. And the purpose of service is to provide notice to the defendant that he's being sued, to give him an opportunity to respond. And by serving on Facebook, I believe the chances of him receiving that notice and knowing exactly what he's being sued for were met, and I think that they served justice.
It seems that every day Facebook permeates more and more into our daily lives. Over the last 10 years, Facebook has grown to become the dominant social network in the world. In this modern age, everything is moving digital. Our TV shows are being beamed directly from space right to our cell phones. Buildings are getting greener. The concept of writing in cursive is so antiquated, our elementary schools don't even teach it anymore. So the question is, are the American people ready for our judicial system to adopt Facebook as a way to convey official documents? Well, that decision has yet to be determined.